Hi there, Keith here. So today we're diving into something that genuinely excites me, how small changes can create massive results in your business. You know, it's like compound interest for business growth, and I'm buzzing to share this with you. So before we dive in, let me share something fascinating that happened last week. I was reviewing the numbers for a client's business, a small manufacturing firm in the Midlands. They were doing about £2 million in turnover, but struggling with profitability. When we analysed their business using these 7 drivers I'm about to share with you, we discovered they could potentially add £300,000 to their bottom line without increasing their workload. Mind-blowing, right? But here's the thing. Most business owners I work with are making things way too complicated. They're trying to revolutionise everything at once, launching new products, hiring more staff, working longer hours. The real magic? It's in the small, systematic improvements across 7 key areas. So think of it like compound interest for your business. You know how Warren Buffett built his fortune, not through massive risky investments, but through consistent compound growth over time. Your business works exactly the same way. So let me break down each driver and share exactly how you can implement these changes in your business. Cash flow, the ultimate business lifeline. So here's something wild. According to UK government statistics, 80 to 90% of small businesses that fail do so because of poor cash flow. That's an amazing statistic. And here's the thing. It's not about how much money you're making. It's about when that money hits your bank account. So let me share 3 quick case studies. A tech company in Cambridge implemented an automated invoice follow-up system and reduced their payment waiting time by 15 days. That's £30,000 of extra cash they didn't know they had. A wholesale business in Leeds started offering a 2% discount for early payment. They saw 40% of their customers take it up, dramatically improving their cash position. A service business in Manchester restructured their payment terms to get 50% upfront. Result? They never had a cash flow crisis again. The implementation framework I use with clients is dead simple. A. Map your cash cycle. Understand exactly when money comes in and goes out. B. Identify the 3 biggest delays in getting paid. C. Create automated systems to chase payments. D. Consider early payment discounts. The next factor is margins, the silent profit multiplier. Now, this is where it gets properly interesting. Most business owners I work with in the UK are leaving money on the table with their margins. Let me share my 1% margin enhancement strategy. Real world example. So, a restaurant in York was struggling with food costs. We implemented 3 tiny changes. Renegotiated with their top 3 suppliers, adjusted portion sizes slightly, introduced a high margin chef's special. Total margin improvement, 2.3%. Now, on 800,000 turnover, that's 18,400 straight to the bottom line. Next factor is customer retention. This is your hidden goldmine. This is genuinely one of my favourite topics to geek out about. The data here is mind-blowing. Increasing customer retention by just 5% can increase profits by 25% to 95%. That's not my opinion. It's hard data from research by Bain & Company. So here's a framework I developed with a software company in Bristol. Firstly, they mapped their entire customer journey. Then they identified 3 key moments of truth where customers typically drift away. Finally, created what I call sticky touch points at each of these moments. The results? Their churn rate dropped from 18% to just 7% in 6 months. But here's the really interesting bit. Their referral rate actually doubled because happy customers tell others. Quick implementation tip for you. Start with your top 20% of customers. Create a simple spreadsheet tracking their last interaction, their typical buying pattern, and set up alerts for when they're due to buy again. Next factor is transaction value, the smart growth hack. Think about it like this. It's much easier to sell more to someone who's already buying from you than to find a new customer. One of my clients, a professional services firm in Manchester, started offering complementary services alongside their core offering. Literally, just by asking, would you also be interested in X? They increased their average transaction value by 18%. But let me share something even more interesting. A retail client in Edinburgh implemented what I call the power of 3 approach. Good option, better option, which is 2 times the price of good, and best option, which is 3 times the price of good. Result? Their average transaction value jumped by 42% because people started choosing the middle option more often. So, here's my simple framework for implementing this. Analyze your last 100 transactions, identify your 3 most popular add-ons, create simple bundles combining these, train your team on proper upselling techniques. Next factor is frequency of transactions, the compound effect. So here's something that blows my mind every time I think about it. If you could get your customers to buy just 1 more time per year, what would that do to your revenue? So let me share a brilliant example from a client in Leeds who runs a consultancy. They were doing annual reviews, but we noticed something interesting in the data. Clients who had more frequent contact were staying longer and spending more. So they introduced quarterly check-ins, created a monthly newsletter with actionable tips, set up automated health check emails. Not only did their revenue increase by 40%, but their clients actually thanked them for the extra attention. It's what I call a proper win-win situation. So if you're finding this valuable, do hit that subscribe button and give the video a like. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments about which of these drivers resonates most with your business. Next one, customer acquisition, the smart way. Now, I used to think that getting new customers was all about spending more on marketing. But here's the thing, it's actually about being more strategic. So let me share 3 game-changing examples. A manufacturing client in Birmingham was spending £5,000 per month on generic advertising. So we switched to a targeted referral program and their customer acquisition costs dropped by 60% while bringing in better quality leads. Mental, right? But it gets better. A professional services firm in London implemented what I call the triple R system. Referrals, created a structured referral program. 2. Reviews, automated their review collection process. And 3. Remarketing, targeted their warmest leads first. The result? They reduced their customer acquisition cost from £250 to £85 per customer, while increasing the quality of leads. So, here's your action plan. Calculate your current customer acquisition cost. Map out where your best customers came from. Create a simple referral system. Test and measure everything. Efficiency and productivity, the silent revenue booster, that's the next factor. This is where my inner productivity nerd really comes out. You see, efficiency isn't just about working harder, it's about working smarter. So, let me share a case study that genuinely excited me. A property management firm in Bristol was drowning in admin work. Their team was working late, stress levels were high, and mistakes were creeping in. We implemented what I call the productivity pyramid. Level 1, automated repetitive tasks. That saved 20 hours a month. Level 2, created standard operating procedures. Level 3, implemented time blocking techniques. The result? They reduced operating costs by 22% while improving customer satisfaction scores. But here's the fascinating bit. Their team reported less stress and started leaving work on time. Now, here's where it gets really exciting, the compound effect. When you make small improvements across all of these areas, the results are exponential. Let me show you the maths. Improve each driver by just 5%. That's 7 5% improvements. The compound effect? It can potentially double your profit. But here's the crucial bit. You don't have to do everything at once. Start with one driver that resonates most with your business. Take baby steps. As I always say to my clients, it's better to make small, consistent improvements than to try and transform everything overnight. And let me share one final thought that really drives this home. A client in Sheffield implemented just 3 of these drivers over 6 months. Their profit increased by 47%, not because they worked harder, but because they worked smarter. Remember, success in business isn't about making huge dramatic changes, it's about making small, intelligent improvements across these 7 key areas. It's about being consistent, measuring results and adjusting as you go. And this is where I can come in, because I can set up systems that track these drivers as KPIs, and you can track them and graph them out every month and review them. If you don't track, you don't really know how you're doing and you can't really improve. So before I wrap up, I'd love to hear which of these drivers you think could have the biggest impact on your business. Drop a comment below and let's start a conversation about it. Please get in touch via the chat box on redboxfinancial.com or get in touch some other way if you want to explore how I can help you. That's all for now. Bye.